Did you know that The Legend of Zelda 2 wasn't originally going to be a Legend of Zelda game? Well, find out more nuggets like that after the intro. See you in a minute. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Famicom Dojo Live, where this week we're going to play Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link on NES. This beautiful gold cartridge and battery backup, which I think the battery died, so original Sean save, sadly gone. But this is one of those games where you can and probably should play over and over again. I'm going to stick this into my Retron 5 here, where I can continue from where we left off. By the way, for those watching last week when we were playing, I have it around here somewhere, we were playing Super Star Wars. Where are you? We were playing Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. For some reason, the only cartridge that's like even nearby here is the Chrono Trigger one, which we got to finish that game too. Oh, that's right, because it was in my SNES on the ground there. So we played on the actual SNES. Couldn't get it to work in the Retron. I might try again later. But I was worried it wouldn't play in the Retron 5, and I was worried there's something wrong with the Retron 5 itself, but it just doesn't like the cartridge, it seems. Don't know if it's still too dirty, what the deal is, but anyway, we're going to do it. I'm also going to play on this Hori Famicom, this Hudson Famicom B controller. Did I say Hori? There's also a Hori controller, third party. It plugs into the expansion port of the Famicom, and I have an adapter so that it will work in the NES port of the Retron 5. That's what we're doing today. We've played this game 3 times before now. Once through with our good friend and friend of the show and host of our sister podcast, Casual Trek, Miles Reed Lobato, joined us, and I played badly. So we basically started over with part 2, where it's like, oh yeah, these are where the spells are. This is what I'm supposed to do. And we got through 2 temples that way, and then we got through 2 more last time. And this time we're going to do at least 1 more. We'll see. They're getting a little harder. And I also haven't done any grinding to level up, which I could do. And I might do a little bit of, just to demonstrate now that I have all the abilities that I feel like I can comfortably do that for a change. But also, my little tease at the beginning, we're going to talk about how Zelda 2 wasn't originally going to be a Zelda game. And I really need to find the link to the video I watched about this, and I would also really like to verify its claims, because I'm not sure if it even offered any references. Something that maybe we should do in our show notes as well. Well, anyway. Also, before I forget, a little pre-announcement. It's July 2023, which means it's not only the 40th anniversary of the family computer, aka Famicom, it is the 16th anniversary this month of Famicom Dojo. I was hoping to get a video up by the actual 16th anniversary day. It's something that we've done on occasion, to upload a video on the anniversary, but depending on how things go, that might not happen. I'm going to try real hard though. There's a lot going on in real life for me this month, so I don't have it quite wrapped up yet. But I showed a draft to Vinnk, and he's very excited. I hope you'd be very excited too. We'll talk more about that at the end. But for now, we're going to play a video game. So, without further ado, to the Retro Station! Any second now.
Shame!
There we go. All right. I don't recall where we left off exactly. I probably saved in this town because I was about to snuff it. That was loud. All right. Get the chat running so I can see you guys talking to me and I can talk back to you. Okay, what are we doing? So, oh sure, I just get an announcement. There's like a raid hour going on right now. Fantastic. Who's this guy? I don't remember. With boots. Ah yes, these boots are made for walking. This is the title of our episode. Yeah. All right. Were these boots made for Christopher walking? We're gonna do our little recharge trick here where we can go to the magic recharge. Use our magic to fill our life. And then, good evening, Satoshi. Good evening, Morel. Or is it Moral? Morel? Moral. Morel? Moral. My special medicine. I still want to know what's in that special medicine. All right. We're gonna go back, I think. Woo! How many lives do I have left? I have 1 life left. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little bit of grinding. Oof. I'm gonna go this way to do the aforementioned grinding. Ow. Jerk. Got a raft. Remember the raft from the first game? This felt more satisfying to me as a kid anyway. Making our way across a vast ocean rather than just like, you know, a little hop across the pond. Now you can build rafts in Tears of the Kingdom, and more than rafts, really. So as mentioned before, what's kind of troublesome about these critters is that they will drain your experience as well as your life. They're not worth a whole lot. So the ones I want to get are the tougher ones. So basically, if I end up here, I'm not going to seek them. I'm gonna there we go. I'm going to avoid them and just sort of endure them. Oh, criminy. Those are the guys I want, because they're 100 apiece. Bam. So I only need like 35 of those, right? Plus whatever I get in those other guys. And ooh, come on. Why is it when you chase those dudes, like you can never seem to catch them, but if you try to avoid them, you can never seem to get away from them? Maybe we should run away from them instead, and then I'll be able to. It's like, nope. Oh. Oh. Did he not take my experience points? Or was I just not paying attention? The stolen cores. Are you saying the firmware update is going to be with licensed emulation stuff? Is that what you're telling me? However I pronounce this is fine. Thanks, Morel. I'm going to call you Morel. It's like Superman in the House of L. Mor-El. Hey, Bombs! Good to see ya. Extra features. Okay. Oh, the custom firmware. Okay, so it's not Retron's firmware. All right. Hold on. So you're encouraging me to update my Retron because there's stolen technology on it with a custom firmware who also may not have ethically sourced license. I don't know about that. All right. So I'm here, and I was going to talk about the origins of Zelda 2 as a not Zelda game. And there's not like any sinister, like Star Fox, Dinosaur Planet type thing going on here. Just that this game was being developed prior to it being considered a Zelda game. Like, you know, good games I've found, and you can argue whether or not this is a good game. Good games I've found usually run through the mechanics first and then sort of layer everything on later. And I'm basing this mostly on the origin story of how the mechanics for Prince of Persia: Sands of Time were developed, and like how they like really perfected that prior to like polishing the rest of the story of the game and everything, or the time travel, or the time travel mechanic in that. And the reason I compare it, I don't want to imply that Ubisoft wasn't trying to make a Prince of Persia game when they were doing that. Ooh, I got 200 that time. Very nice. Because they absolutely were. Oh, I'll bet you I got the less swarmed by the experience stealers. Yeah, okay, we got the good one this time. The one I wanted anyway. Ooh, look at that. Little hat trick there. Easily avoidable axes. No problem. Alright, so about a third of the way through to our next level here. Anyway, I bring it up because when they were developing this game, they didn't know what it was going to be, but they wanted to make a platformer, and I guess I kind of have to like go back to how the original Legend of Zelda got to be made too, and it might even be the same creator who made this video, but Zelda and Mario Brothers were developed at the same time, and so I think it's kind of interesting. Oh God, I went right towards the wrong thing. I think it's kind of interesting how like this was a Famicom Disk System title. I mean, this and the original Zelda were, but like Mario Brothers wasn't, but was also released on Famicom Disk System eventually. It's just interesting to me. I don't know anything more beyond that. Can I read this? It's the King's Tomb. No, the other thing was the King's Tomb. Whose tomb is this? Just some randos? Anyway. Here we go again. Oh, hello. Yeah, we can do this. That's fine. 30, maybe not so good. But they got developed at the same time, and like Miyamoto was like binning things like this is a Zelda idea, like this is like adventure and puzzle solving, and like, you know, Mario was platforming and action. So this game was kind of an experiment in like a platforming RPG. So I think like the magic stuff came first, and then jumping into the platforming. And the reason it's very different from the original Zelda is because it was not developed by the same team. So it wasn't, again, intended to be a Zelda game. Now, the original Zelda team went on to make Link to the Past for the Super NES / Super Famicom, which is why it's so similar to the first game. But then, like, you know, Link's Awakening comes along, not made by either of those teams, and ends up being an amazing Zelda game in its own right. Neither here nor there. The point being that there was no communication or crossover with the original Zelda team. So the way that it got made, the way the story goes, like its entire design, you know, didn't have the kind of communication I guess you would have expected for a sequel to one of the best games ever on the NES. That I think a lot of, like, you know, started a franchise, right? And then like continued despite this game, some might say. But I don't know. I still think that like this game added a lot to the lore of Zelda, like things that we still do today, things that you ended up finding in Link to the Past and subsequent games. So you know those RPG elements, those NPCs and magical abilities, and like advancing things besides stuff in your inventory, like advancing story, having little fetch quests and stuff that you know became huge as of like Ocarina, right? So again, you might say that all happened despite this game. I don't think that's true. I think you gotta give this game its due. But that's why it's a platforming action title and not a top-down view like we're used to. Like people expected, really. More of the same, kind of. And then, of course, you know, like Mario Brothers 2, famously, infamously, perhaps, also wasn't originally a Mario game, or at least, you know, the American Mario Brothers 2 wasn't. So you got very similar sorts of stories going on there. Oh boy, which one did I get? Nah, not the one I wanted. Well, we're halfway there anyway. So that's not to say once they decided to make a Zelda game, they didn't Zeldify it at all, right? Like that's not even remotely what I'm implying. Like once it got to be a Zelda game, they added all the Zelda elements to it. They added the enemies, they added the story, they added the graphics, they added all this stuff. Hold on a second. So what was I saying? But what's interesting and probably worth mentioning in like both how the original Zelda and this Zelda came along, like the story of the game, like the actual like written text was done by someone who wasn't on the development team. Like they sourced it out. Like they drew graphics and that weren't the reference materials for the character designs. Although, you know, they might have had time to cycle through them and like merge them a little bit before release. But similarly, like, you know, the story of this game, like it comes last. Like it comes later in the development cycle. So when you try and fit Zelda into these neat timelines, especially these earlier Zelda games from before there was a story per se, or even like there was no attempt at like cohesion at all. Like sequels to video games like weren't a thing in the 80s, you guys. Like what is Mega Man 2 but like 8 more bosses, right? Like there's no story there per se. Now it's an incredible game and I think really improved the mechanics, but you know, this is from a time when like sequels were iterative on existing formula, or like completely revolutionary to that formula, like this game was. You weren't trying to do like what Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are doing, which is to make like a direct sequel, continuing a story, making cohesive. Darn it! I meant to grab that. It's like the second. That's the second potion that I've managed to not get. So I'm a little behind on my life, health, spell. I probably. won't be able to heal up. Nope, don't have enough. So we're gonna run back to, it's the third one. I'm gonna run back to town. Or am I gonna get caught here? That's fine. Let's just go this way. All right. While I'm in town, let's check on the chat. I've been jabbering for a bit, so. CFW keeps the licensing is free. User from improvements and accuracy. So I mean, there's that. That's worth considering. Doesn't the same backup go to the SD card, or does it go to some internal memory? I'm not sure. Support for PC Engine support. Well, okay, whoa. PC Engine support, WonderSwan, Arcade, PS1. I mean that's because you can dump the ROMs to it, right? It's not because of the physical compatibility. This is why you couldn't have sold this, because you had to have the interfaces. You had to have the. All right, so legal gray area, let's just say. Daniel H is listening. Hello, Daniel H. Velcro Pants is here. Yay, I'm glad you can make it. Torinado Dean. Ms. Pac-Man, yeah. Ms. Pac-Man wasn't meant to be a sequel per se. It wasn't even really a Pac-Man game because it was not developed by the Pac-Man team. That was something, there's a whole story behind that. But it was made by people who liked to improve on games and make enhancements and stuff, and they just decided to sell theirs. Eventually, it got folded into the Pac-Man umbrella. That's also a very interesting story. But yeah, similar idea. Like they weren't, the powers that be, the creatives weren't looking to make a new Pac-Man game, right? So. Oh, sorry. I did it again, where you can't see it again. Hey, AKX. Were you here last time when I did that? Fortunately, I'm just grinding right now. So the talking's the more important part. I am almost done. I'm going to just do the one level, I think, and then we're going to continue on. Because it's been almost half an hour. So. This guy's only worth 30 points, so I'm not going to waste my breath. Well, there we go. 33. Look at that. Ooh, here we go. Oh, hello. That was a weird hitbox glitch there. All right, continuing on. All right, so we're only 1,000 away from our goal. Oh, hello. I'll take you. Come here. Fine. Didn't think I was gonna get him, but I got him. So yeah. So like the story in the manuals, and I got the manuals over here, but I'm gonna keep playing the game. The story in the manuals may not necessarily line up like overall to like the plot and idea of the game. Like, you know, obviously that there are Triforces, like the Triforce of Wisdom. And you're putting it back together, and there's Ganon, and you have to defeat him, right? But like apart from those bare bones pieces of the story, you don't see Impa in this game. She may as well not even exist. The only reason that people know Impa exists, you don't even see her until Ocarina of Time. Like, she's a part of the lore, but she's not a part of the game until like the 4th main Zelda title, and like the 7th Zelda game overall? 6th Zelda game overall? That's bonkers. Was she in the cartoon? I don't even remember. Yeah. So not to say that these things weren't important, but they weren't important, you know? Like, there was no... So when Miyamoto says, like, they were thinking of making the game first and story second, that's kind of what they mean. Like, they didn't care about cohesion. They didn't want to be constrained by what they thought of for the first game, because if you look at the history of how the original Zelda was built, like, it wasn't even meant to have an overworld originally. It was just supposed to be like a fun dungeon creator that, like, people would do two-player, and they wouldn't even necessarily make their own games or have a story or have a cohesion or have a world. It's, you know, that's just how development goes, right? Like, they hadn't made classics yet. They were still making Super Mario Brothers, for instance. So you can't say that they should have known better, because, again, they just didn't make sequels for the sake of making sequels and continuing stories. It's just not... Like, now games have to have story in them. It's just expected. But at the time, it just didn't do that. So that's why Zelda 2 is different, because it wasn't going to be a Zelda game. Now when they do go ahead and make a new Zelda game with the original team, right? It's Link to the Past. They essentially do a remake of the first game, like with more story in mind, starting from scratch, right? Like explaining the origins of Ganon, and defeating him, and like trying to tie it to the first two games in any fashion is just like an after the fact rationalization, basically. I don't recall if there were people at Nintendo trying to do that, or if it was like fan stuff, or if it was just those writers again, those comics. I have a whole stack of Nintendo Powers behind me that I'm trying to go through to get to the bottom of that, because I remember certain things, and like they were like fan theories and like gamer theories about what was happening with the story, but nothing from Nintendo itself, really. So even if it's like published in Nintendo Power, it doesn't make it like the game's canon story, right? Like whatever we see in the manual for Link to the Past isn't even necessarily like the canon of the story. It's like, now that the game does story, it's what you see in the game. And so the comic book that went with it, even more so, is just like, is this really of any import to the gaming experience? And the answer really is no. It enhances it, I bet, I think, too. But you just sort of come away from the comic feeling like, why didn't they work this into the game more? And it's mostly because that's just not the thing that you did back then. Like, as much story as we got in Link to the Past, which I thought was really good, there's a lot of story. There's a lot of reading involved in Link to the Past, and there's a lot of reading involved in this game too, but there's no story per se in this game. There's a lot of reading to solve puzzles, but there's no communication of a story. And in a lot of ways, I get a little grumpy with how much talking there is now in Zelda games. I just kind of want to play it, right? But then they like name drop things, and they mention Rauru, for instance, immediately in Tears of the Kingdom, and you're like, oh, that's the Sage of Time from Ocarina of Time. Except it isn't. Except it is. Except it isn't. Right? Like, it's not. Again, I haven't beat the game. People who have beat the game have said things about it, and I'm trying to like avoid those things. But suffice to say, like, it feels like every mainline Zelda game, you gotta think of it as a reimagining of the concept, and not something that necessarily ties back to earlier ones. Like, even if we see Hero of Time, quote unquote, in Wind Waker, which was an amazing, like, first of its kind acknowledgement that other Zeldas and other continuities and other Links besides the one that we're playing as even exist. Like, you enter this game, there's Zelda asleep. For all you know, just from playing each of those games, it's the same Zelda, the one you saved at the end. It's not if you read the instruction booklet. It's not the same one. but yet like that idea of there being like this historical Zelda that like then kind of reverberates through the future is something that Tears of the Kingdom plays with. So that it contradicts everything that came before, or a lot of what came before, I don't think it matters. Is it good in and of itself? Are you going to require people to play 10 Zelda games just to enjoy yours? No. Do you even have to play Breath of the Wild to enjoy Tears of the Kingdom? No. It helps, it adds to the experience, but you're not required to do it. And I don't think there's a lot contradictory between those two games. In a lot of ways, they're really similar. Here we go. All right, magic goes up. I love it. Okay, let's continue on. All right. Yeah, I agree. Zelda and pizza is a good night. Oh, in another temple entrance fighting Iron Knuckles. That feels too hit and miss for me. Because I can guarantee, at least if I can get the harder of the two spawns, I can guarantee 200 points, if not like a little bit more, with every encounter. But I don't know, maybe it's like a points per second thing, or like points per minute. I don't know. Okay, so we had gone north, and there's a bridge that goes across the water, and there was a temple and an island maze there, and I got these boots to walk across the water. Now, I was able to walk back through the maze. If you follow the path and don't think about it, you don't realize you can do this, but you can actually walk along the water to get out of the maze. Now we're here, and now we're at this area where I can just water, right? Well, no, I can just walk across the water. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Can I even get to this spot? Yeah, so here we go. Hey, why not? If you find these, you might as well get them, because they're not gonna help or hurt. You don't get them again during the course of your game. Like, this is it. This is the only time I get to pick it up. But, hit kills, loving it. All right, but there's more I need to pick up before I continue onward. So we're gonna go this way. Oh, I hate these things. I can use fire to defeat those guys. I mentioned in previous videos as well that fire was something that was tweaked in this version of the game. That is that it? Is that all I get here? Fire is something that in this version of the game they tweaked to be a little more useful, because you got it in the original Famicom Disk System version, but it wasn't used for anything. It's not used for a boss. It's not used for anything, really. Okay, there's nothing here. I think that was just there so that you could see where the temple is. The palace? Call it a temple. I guess I'm used to playing those other Zelda games, right? You can see where it is, but you can't get to it. So you have to have the boots at the right and proper time. And then walk in the correct place to... And here we are again. I thought that there was something more down here, and I feel like I am missing something. Maybe I am not. Yeah, so I could have walked all the way through here, and maybe I should still, because I might encounter what I'm looking for. Maybe I won't. Maybe you won't. Yeah, so I would use the hammer here. Bring the hammer down, boom, and smuck the dude. All Yeah, I think the other reason, we'll get to this in a second here. I think the other reason that I don't like grinding at the temples, or at the palaces, is I just walk straight across. Yeah, there's like no mystery to it. You just gotta do it. Oh, that one doesn't count. All right. Don't really need it, I guess, because you leave the town right away. You should be full up on health at that point. Oh, so she's saying that Dr. Light wasn't really in the Mega Man game either, except for at the very end. Fair enough. Alright, so watch this. I can go in here, and as she fills up my magic, I can use it, and then it'll keep filling, because it fills until I'm out of there. Don't forget the heart in the water. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. I knew it. I knew that there was something I was looking for out here. Yes, yes. So you don't have to deviate from the main path, but you need to get this flippin' heart, and I can't remember where it is. There we go. There we go. There it is. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Oh, I need the jump magic. Sorry, I was trying to attack it because in the disk system version, you need to attack it to get it. So yeah, it's worth it to explore. How about start Strange New World Season 2? I don't know if I'm going to talk about it today. I think I was going to stick to Zelda chatter today. For those who are interested, we have a Discord, and I'll leave a link in the stream here. We can chat about it on the Discord. I talked about it a little bit in the previous stream. Hold on a second. In the super, I can tell that there's a bad guy. In the Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back stream, I talked about it there at length. It was mostly about the first episode, and maybe I hate this part. So you gotta use fairy to get up there because jump isn't enough, and that's a lot of magic to have to use at once. Ugh, frustrates me so much. And then I can't get the key because I'm a fairy, so I gotta leave the screen, come back, get the flippin' key. Flippin' flippity flip. Anywhoozle, so yeah, there have been 3 episodes of Strange New Worlds now, and tomorrow is the 4th. And I really got to, just as a general overview, I really got to say that the things I was worried about that the first episode might portend of the season, I don't feel like have come to pass. I've really enjoyed. It feels like it went back to form where like they're doing the one-off stories, and it's less about, because that first episode felt kind of like a kludge. Like I felt like the series premiere was a great indicator of what we're going to see going forward, and I feel like the season 2 premiere was not a good indicator of what the season was going to be like. It was housekeeping. I liked some moments in it. There were some things that I enjoyed that I think were worthwhile, but like could have. Ooh. Okay. So I'll get to that in a second. I just felt like could have worked in a different story, or have been more focused about one thing or the other, but not like doing both at the same time. Like most of the stories, you can see the A and B plots, if there are A and B plots. They're more distinguished. And in the premiere, I didn't feel like there was a distinct A or B plot. They just kind of smushed together and blended together, and I didn't know what the primary focus was. Because I feel like this show is strongest when it focuses on one character as the primary. And so far, they've done this to the detriment of Pike in that he's not, well, he's the primary character in the second episode. He's not like as the captain per se. He's helping out his friend. So it's not until this fourth episode that we really get to see Pike doing Pike things like we did in the first season. I think that's fine because we had the whole first season for it to be about him. And it was very much about his conflict coming out of Discovery. Anyway, back to this game. I didn't realize I could two-hit kill that guy, which might make it more understandable to farm them. More time-consuming though is the other thing I was concerned about. Okay, so now we've already run out of magic. What's these guys? I feel like I should. It's kind of a trick to getting them to spawn near you. Get the fire that they throw to the edge of the screen and they won't appear there. And they'll have to appear closer to you. Ooh, Trixie. Trixie little hobbitses. Get that one too. I don't think Pike would be constantly a background character. I think that they just wanted to give the other ones some breathing room. Oh, all right. I don't have any keys left. I have 2 lives. Oh boy. Did I miss something already? I've got 1,400 experience points as well. Oh, I went right instead of left. That's what it was. Again, that's the general MO of this game. Is go right. If you can't go right, go left. If you can't go left, go down. That's basically it. Oh, sorry. I was watching the anti-fairy, not what I was supposed to be doing. This guy's worth a lot of points. Ow, 200. I mean, that's good. Reliable. Okay. So now I have the up thrust, which is going to be very vital to this trick here. Oh. Come on. So it randomly fills in. So otherwise I can just go straight across. I can only go as high as I can jump to start filling things in. Which isn't a great way to go about it, I'm gonna have to say. Ow. Jerk. I really thought that I was going to be able to get through this without much bloodshed, but it shows what I know. Okay, well, getting low on magic already, not loving this. Those guys are 2 hits too, and only 50 points. Oh, there we go. You always got to check those heads. And those red ones usually give you more magic than your bar can fill, so I used it to fill up my life and get a bunch of magic I wouldn't have had otherwise, so. Trixie. Why do these blocks defy gravity? I don't know, why do they defy gravity in Minecraft? Great questions. Do they have answers? Perhaps we'll never know. Definitely getting both of these guys because that's 400 points. Oh. Must have been... Ah, how many hits is it going to take? Ow! Alright, so then we'll do this. We'll have to come over here somewhere. Oh, really? Alright, maybe not have to, but probably will. Too far away. Oh, too stupid. That was my mistake. Gotcha. Alright. Okay. Up thrust is your friend. Oh. What these guys remind me of? They remind me of, jerks is who they remind me of. They remind me of, the Piranha guys in Mario Brothers. Possibly not a coincidence. I want those points too bad. I can't. It's not good. How is that guy so tough? Okay, well, it was a good reward. I didn't get any points, unfortunately, for defeating him, but I got life. So, oh yeah, and this is blue ones. The blue ones can throw, and they are much more difficult. Like how he can walk into me and hurt me. That's real cool game. I kind of enjoy the combat here too. Like I'm pretty sure I can't do what I'm about to do, so I'm just gonna save here just in case. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. The combat kind of reminds me of the original Prince of Persia game, with like the upper and lower and the parrying and the dodge. It's a little bit like that, not too much, but enough that it reminds me of that and possibly isn't a coincidence. So the fact that I mentioned Prince of Persia is a coincidence prior to this realization, but I think the fact that it's a little bit like that is not a coincidence. It's also something that you really didn't get until I think Ocarina of Time allowed different forms of combat, and I really feel like it starts reaching perfection in like Breath of the Wild. And dang it! So like you don't get to do a lot when having to backtrack over these pits, as you can see, really stinks. Like you have to be really careful and like watch the spawns and try not to down thrust and avoid life-giving potions. Ugh. Criminy. Alright, 6 of those guys anywhere at any time, and you get another single blue potion. So that's 3. So I'm 3 closer, regardless of however many I had banked up already. Gotta run toward him when I see him. I can't wait. 1. Oh. Ow. There we go. Well, that kind of worked out. No, too far away. It stinks. How many more hits is it going to take? Ah! Oh, come on! Really? Just need those 200 points, yo. I also don't like having to think like this, but that's just how this game works. Like, you're leveling up until the end, basically. Although I think in the Famicom Disk System version, I was able to level up pretty fast before the end and like max out, so it didn't matter anymore. But after that point, even in this game, if you do that, you also you get a free life every time you do that. So something to think about. Come on, spawn a little jelly for me. Give me that juice. The juice is loose. Come on. This is not a good way to go about this. I could go over here. How badly do I want just the one potion? Not badly enough, I don't think. I'm gonna have to probably die to, oh, I don't gotta go down. I'm gonna have to go down eventually. I don't have to do it right this second. I'm not sure. Ooh, fantastic. I don't think I need any. I should probably get some shield though. Oh, I was trying to do that before it filled up all the way and it didn't register that I'd pushed the button. Okay, and these guys remind me of Hammer Brothers and Super Mario Brothers, which again I'm sure is not a coincidence. So I can go up or down. That's interesting. I really should use shield more. It's very helpful. Is it wrong? I guess. Whatever. Oh, this guy respawned. Okay, I'm gonna go back this way. Did I save? I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go back this way, and we're gonna go down. I'm sure it's not the final. Yeah, we'll do some jump and get some. Was it not enough? Oh. Dang it. Ugh. Dang it. And this guy hovering around is not helping. All right. There we go. Hope that was worth it. I am only like about 650 points away though, so that does help. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. All right, yeah. All right, good thing I went this way. But there's no... Oh. Well, I prefer the... I was about to say I was going to prefer magic over points there. Oh well. Okay. Feels like I should have gone left first. I don't know. Let's see what happens if I go down. I bet you that the weapon or the item is down here. Ah! The statue didn't have anything for me. Bummer, dude. Okay. Oh! going to get life or am I going to get attack next? It feels like attack's coming next. I could use life. I don't think I'm going to get it. This is also why I'm glad that... Ooh, that works. Ow. I think this is also why I don't know what I was going to say. Ah. There we go. Yeah, that was bound to happen. What? 1. Well, I got 200 points. I'm real close to leveling up now. Dang it. Oh, sure. We're just gonna do that, are we? Apparently we are. 20. Worth it? No. Okay. Okay, so I was here already. Yep. So we go back up. I got everything out here I needed to. I have my extra key, so I wouldn't be able to progress enough to the left otherwise if I didn't have it. I could trap this anti-fairy. Oh, finally. This works. Ow! Well, it worked until I got zapped. 2! Three. Oh, let's just get the last one and I'll level up. Come on. Because if you do it before you lose all your lives, you get to keep your experience points. Or you get to keep your level. So I'm trying to see. Ow! Criminy. 3. It is life. Well, I was hoping it would be attack, but now my life is maxed out. So now it's going to be attack next for sure, and then probably magic, and then attack again. And then it'll be a free life. Alright. Up or down? Up or down? Probably up. Alright, do some farm work. Good to see you, Satoshi. Ooh, maybe it's down, because I didn't get the item from this area yet. Yeah, it's down. Because you never go left to get to the boss. You always go right. How do I know that? I mean, it's just a fact. Come on, get closer. Ow. Oh, he's coming back now. Great. Gotcha. Whew. Works for me. All the more reason to get the up thrust here. Like, I don't think it's even possible to beat this area without the up thrust because of that first key that you have to get. Oh, this isn't... Yeah, you do get items from the left, though. But I don't think that this is where... Oh. It's a key, though. Need keys. I will say I don't miss keys in later Zelda games. Like, I guess I'm thinking specifically of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, there's a point in the first Zelda game you can just buy them, I think. Especially if you like don't want to have to figure out how to get them all. I don't think you ever need to at any point, but it's just, oh boy. I don't think I'm gonna make it, guys. See if I can get anything from this guy. Nope. No, I was hoping for a red potion. Did not happen. I need those 200 points. How badly do I need them? Not badly enough to get to 5,000? Okay, well. Yeah, the point progression in this version of the game and the NES version of the game is a lot more steep. Mostly because the main difference is that if you don't level up evenly, then the game will. Ow. If you don't level up evenly, then darn it. Then you'll lose all your levels and it'll go to the lowest common denominator of levels. So if you like everything's on level 1 and you like max out magic, or you max out your attack or whatever, you'll lose it as soon as you lose all your lives. So you have to have everything at level 2 for it to stay at level 2 when you die, and so on and so forth. So, So the point caps are lower because they're expecting you to have that learning curve, and then but then once you figure it out and you do even level up evenly, it's pretty easy to do. Now you can skip levels, like even though there's like a prescribed order, you can keep skipping and earn because there's fixed point values for each. There we go. There are fixed point values for each level of each of the 3 categories. So if you skip the other ones, like it's still the same amount to get to like level 2 life versus level 8. Ow. Probably should have used shield this whole time, huh? Alright. Luck be with me. No! Alright. 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 Let's see if I get a potion from this guy. Nothing! Urgh. This is the... Is there no... Oh, hold on. I went everywhere, right? There was nothing to get in this palace. Alright, we'll find out in a second. Okay, so fun fact here, in the Famicom Disk System version of the game, this is actually the first boss, but with the 2 floating heads that come in and smuck you. In the Disk System version of the game, you get that first boss and he just has the 1 floaty head. But they repeat him for this. So this ogre guy here is a repeat. It's a pain in my backside too. Alright, we're gonna get some shield. I don't think I can down thrust this guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, probably a mistake to try. Can I use reflect? Oh, the sprite for his weapon went away. Ow. 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 I wonder if the trick is I'm supposed to have, like, jump. And then, yeah, because this, you just kind of grief on a bit, and then it's over. go. Isn't there a whistle? Yeah, it feels like there's... I must have missed something. So if I did miss it, then we're gonna... I have a key left, so I didn't go somewhere. Get that next level up. Should be attack. Fantastic. So like I said, I think magic's next, and then our final attack. All right, yeah. So I didn't get something. Oh, yeah. There was even a key, because we saw on the other end of the. Okay, shoots a doodles. So there was a guy. I didn't talk to him while we were playing just now, but there's a guy who tells me that there's a secret wall. In one of these places, and I missed it. I was even thinking about it because you saw that one key, right, when we first came in. Darn it. Okay, so what did I miss and where did I miss it? Yeah, so the temple usually turns to stone once you've defeated it, but if the item is still in there, it stays unstoned until you're able to retrieve it. Otherwise, you'd be stuck and the game would be over. Basically, you'd never be able to progress again. Yeah, that worked out. Even with attack increase, this is still a 2-hit kill. That's frustrating. Alright, but I was able to do it real fast there, so that was nice. Alright, so what did I do wrong? I went to the right immediately. Let's do it again? Question mark? Do I have to go down to the right then? I don't remember. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get through 2 temples tonight. Looks like I'm not going to, especially because I was grinding. So... Alright, it's not here. So back this way. Yeah, if you leave a temple with keys, you didn't go everywhere. Well, that was nice. 2 hits on those guys now. Wish I would have had that sooner. Alright, can I just zip through here without getting hit? So maybe you don't need that key to beat... That's guy's a 1-hit kill now. That's very good. This is where I went to the right, and then we saw the key, so I'm going to go left here. Because I don't want to have to jump through all that garbage again. 4! 5. Oh, maybe that must have been 6. I wasn't counting properly. 1. Two. Of course he'd appear over there. Of course. She, it, they. Three. I think I can just keep farming these. 4. 5. 6. 6. There. See? Not lying to you guys. Hey, Arianum? Aranum? Help me out. Okay, it feels like this. Yeah, it feels like this is where I forgot to go. This is the one. This is the one. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, if you haven't seen most of the stream, I'd recommend going back to hear our discussion about the origins of this game. Oh, did I not go this way? I don't think I went this way at all before. This looks completely right. Is this a 3-hit guy now? There we go. Yep, I didn't even have to like do anything special. I missed this whole thing. Dang it. Alright. Well, let's get ourselves closer to 6,000, shall we? Since we're here, might as well spend Link's life doing something useful. There you are. Oh, not fast enough. Still not fast enough. 1. 2. 3. 4. Okay, this is where I needed the key, huh? I hate these things. I hate them so much with the passion of 1,000 burning suns! Ah! I guess I could go up and over if I really wanted to, but I just... I just don't know. Oh, come on. Yes! Almost completely filled my magic boot. Awesome. Oh! No! I needed both the keys! So there are no extras, I just needed that many keys to get through. I should have gone and gotten it first. Should have just done it. Wasted. I'll come back for you, don't worry. Alright, so we're gonna keep going this way. Huh? Nothing. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Ooh. Ooh. Haha, faster. Maybe I'm as fast as you. Maybe I can break hearts too. All right, Morel, good to see ya. Ow. Oh, that's new. Oh, I've never seen that happen before. How is this game surprising me 35 years later. 36 years later? I don't know when this came out. Is it 88? 35. Oh. That sucks. All right. Halfway to 6,000. You can get a fairy through the keyhole and grab the item. Oh, yeah, that's a little hacky though. 5. I mean, wait, I can get to the keyhole, but can I grab the item after I get through? That might only work in this version of the game because you don't have to stab it. And then, come to think of it, that might be the reason why you had to stab it, was that if you were a fairy, you couldn't just grab items that way. Sequence break, but whatever. I don't need to waste my life getting these guys. Especially when I have this dude to defeat. There it is. Hold on a second. I want to... Let's test this theory out, shall we? Oop. Oh! Who locked the door? You can. Oh, that's funny. Is that by design? Who knows? Go upstairs. All right, so my options are I can push through to the end where the boss was, and I don't have to fight him again. I don't have to fight him again, or I can just go to the beginning of the temple, which seems like an easier backtrack. I'm probably just going to do that instead, because I really don't need to waste my life fighting through all those guys again. On the other hand, I can get a lot of points that way, so. Shame! So apparently, all the enemies respawned. So I could have just, probably should have pushed forward. Did the items respawn? Nope. That doesn't seem fair. Oh, this was the end. Ah, whatever. Either way. All right, so you can see I'm not just talking out my butt that I meant it when I said this, things work a certain way. But then also you guys aren't talking out yours either. And when you said that I'm able to do things a certain way, I am able to do it. Very nice. Okay, so I am at the end of my time. And I cannot continue any further, but I will do this much for you guys. I am going, excuse me. I'm going to show you one thing. Let's go down here. I'm pretty sure I went in here already last time. I'm pretty sure. I must have, right? I must have. I must have. Ooh. Good timing, Sean. If I didn't, well. I didn't. Well, good on me. I have 2 lives left, so. All right, so I get down here. And push the B button, booyah. Didn't used to do anything in the overworld. Had to hit B, I think, before. Oh yes, I remember these. Good times. Just outrun them. Just run away. Run away! They remind me of the French from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, this is good practice for what comes later in the game, which we won't get to today. Ooh. Bullet hell. Okay. So now there's nothing stopping me from continuing on here and going down there and then basically making it all the way to the Great Palace, which is what's through the lava area here. But I am not going to do that. That is not where I am going today. Where am I going today? Ooh. Do I even have to go across the bridge? I think I could just cut through and not go across the bridge. I have to go around. And that would preclude any falling deaths. So we're just gonna leave it there, I think, where I'm in view of that town, and we'll pick it up there. There's one more temple to go to, and we're in the part of the world where I have to end up at the last palace there anyway. There are 2 more health and magic items to get, so 1 more heart container, 1 more health container, or magic container, potion thingy. I think I have 1 spell left, called Spell, and 1 more item to get. That's not, or at least maybe 2 more items. There's an item I'm going to get yet that I don't get inside of a palace, which is interesting. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, if you want to see what we're doing, get a little taste of what's coming for the anniversary, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Famicom Dojo. First, we got a little bit of housekeeping to do for all of our Dojo disciples and producers for Famicom Dojo. These streams, our podcast, and our scripted videos, which we are always working on. And the Dojo disciples for the month of July, our 16th anniversary month, are Andrew Greeley, Bombs, who is here tonight, Daniel Hathcock, who is also here tonight, Earl Grey III, and our producers are Buttlord, Jodes Forever, Keith Robinson, Lena Blue, Peter Burrell, Rachel Moser, and Rachel Moser. There are more of you, but per the terms of our stuff, I don't want to give you things for free. Just earn it. You got to earn it. That's all I got to say. But there is more of you, and I appreciate all of you, even if you didn't read your name. But if you become a producer, you get to help us choose podcasts or topics for this live stream here. So I owe you 3 of those now. So we're going to do 3 of those. And then we'll do 1 this month, and then I'll sort of stagger it out. Probably do 2 this month. I mean, we'll do 2 this month, 2 next month, and then we should be all caught up because there'll be 4 total, and it'll include August's. And we'll be all caught up. But like we like to say, even $1 is better than an ad. It's true. $1 will let you watch our videos a week early, typically, or just earlier than everyone else. In the case of this anniversary video, it's going to be real tight. I may show you an almost finished draft instead, and that will give you something to look forward to when you watch the final one, because it'll be just a little bit extra you might not have seen, because I can definitely finish it to a point where it doesn't have all the bells and whistles yet, and maybe I'll have a little tag on the end and be like, hey, watch the final version, because this is near final, but it's not there, and you're really going to enjoy what we did. I just talked myself into it. So that worked out well. Yeah, it's been a crazy 16 years, guys. I gotta admit, we've been doing this stream for about the last 3. We've been podcasting since 2011, so that's been 12 years. We are 2 podcasts behind on the audio version. So if you, on this very channel, subscribe now, and you can listen to our podcast there. I think there's a topic about the Samba de Amigo game, the new one that's coming out this summer. And then, what was the one after that? There was one more after that. Ha! Shows what I know. So we, the Two Boos, watch the Tube podcast, which this all helps go to support. And we're doing our anniversary specials. So, you'll see what I mean. I don't want to say more than that, but if you join us at the extra credit level or above, that's just $2 a month, you can see all of the outtakes or drafts that we use to like either garner feedback or just because we're excited and we want to show you something and like give you a tease of what's coming up next to like keep you hooked, you know. And we're going to do something. We have one of those things up for what's coming this month. So we're probably going to post another one real soon. I'm just trying to decide which section to show you because I don't want to give away too much. But I really want to demonstrate enough to show you that things, what it is. You just got to look. You just got, if you can wait a few more weeks, then fine. But if you can't wait, Patreon.com/Famicom Dojo, and then we are gonna hit the ground running with this. Now is the time to sign up, because it won't be just this video. There are more anniversary videos we're gonna do that aren't just limited to this month. So get excited. There's some brand new stuff that we're doing too, not just anniversary based stuff. And I'm so excited to share it all with you. But it's summer and it's hard to buckle down and get it all done. So we're going to probably just keep dribbling it out through the rest of the year here. But it's also the Famicom's 40th anniversary. So look forward to more Famicom specific stuff, because there are a whole bunch of things that we haven't talked about, like going back the last 16 years, where we touched upon it and never really discussed in any further detail. Like the Famicom disk system is one thing. Like there is a ton of interesting story. The thing, as I mentioned, about Zelda being developed for it at the same time as Mario, like, belong in that video. The problems it ran into. Like, I basically want to do a do-over of our second ever video. Our battery backup video. It was supposed to be focused on that, but there was so much background I had to give, and I'm just like, man, there is a really good story here that we really should dive into more. And that reminded me of a Nintendo Life article I was interviewed for by Damian McFerrin back in 2010, if you can believe that. I was interviewed, Vinnk was interviewed, and one of their staffers, who was an expert in this stuff, was interviewed. And now I have the privilege of using my own quotes in a published forum as a source for my own video. It all comes around, folks. Anyway, it's been a blast. Next week, we'll try and get a producer's pick done. So I really have to focus on getting the post on the Patreon page out there so that you guys can actually pick one. So don't mind me. I just have some work to do over the next few days and get those podcasts out and get this video done. No pressure, right? During the summer when everyone's on vacation, except me, apparently. So it's been great. It's been real. Thank you again. I'm going to add the Discord link like I promised. Any second now. Copy that link. Oh, baby. Here we go. Let me search YouTube real quick and see if I can find that. If I can find that Zelda video. Nope. Nope. No. How to play Zelda in the 21st century. I kind of want to make a video like that. I want to make a video like that about this game, how you are to play this game. Like, you're watching me do it now, but there's a distilled version of this that I really want to get through. And all the stuff I mentioned about the disc system and NES versions being different, I really want to dive into that too. Ooh, the definitive way to play Zelda 2 from 10 days ago. I gotta beat him now. Whoever that is. I assume it's a him. There's no thumbnail. Okay. Don't see it. We'll have to get back to it. But thank you all again. And until next time, the dojo is down thrusting.
Famicom Dojo.